Okay, we're live. Hello, guys and goyles. Let me see. Are we live? Are we actually live? Hold up. I think we're live. Good evening to anyone who's here. I think. Let me do a mic check. Oh, yeah, we're live. Okay, so if you guys saw the video title, then you know that this video is going to be about the Black Girl Follow Trend on TikTok and some interesting feedback that it has gotten. Let's see. Some very interesting feedback it has gotten. Let's word it like that. But before we click on that, we're just going to do a quick a light exercise that I wanted to do for our brains just to get us nice and stretched out before we start. And this should be a quick, like 30-minute, no more than 30-minute live stream. So that means we definitely won't be over 2 hours today, now that I said that. Okay, yeah, we are live. Good evening. Hello, Kat, D Nice, Jadap. Good evening, Mara. Hello. So let's start with this thought exercise, and then I'll play my intro and we can get into Black Girl Follow, because I have just recently heard about this trend. I don't use TikTok. If y'all go to my TikTok page, you're gonna find it's very dry, because TikTok is I'm just a little too old, to be honest. TikTok seems like more of a young people thing. I'm 17 now, as of December 5th last year. I've literally been 17 since last year, so I no longer do childish things like TikTok and such. That's just not what adults do. So I'm not on TikTok a lot, but it reached YouTube, and now I've seen it. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. And hello again, everybody, Mara, Cantor, and Yasmin. So first, let's do our thought exercise, because it's not really a thought exercise. I lied. We're just going to watch a video that I thought was messy.
Finding these men that are obsessed with you, good fathers.
It's going to sound harsh, but guys will agree. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure. You'll find us if you go dumpster diving. We've been discarded. You'll find the best boyfriends and husbands on the island of misfit, brokenhearted boys. They're simple creatures. We're a lot like dogs. Like, picture a rescue dog at the animal shelter. They always make the best companions. They're always loyal, loving, appreciative. We're the exact same way. We did everything right, but we were discarded. So when someone finally comes along and picks us, we're just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Good boyfriends and husbands are forged in the fires of evil exes. If you see a newly single girl wilding out in Miami on a girls' trip, just going crazy on her Instagram and Snapchat stories, look for her ex. He's alone in a cage somewhere, probably doing push-ups. You finally find that guy that moves heaven and earth for you and does everything that you've ever dreamed of. You have no one else to thank but that woman that ate his art and crapped it out like an In-N-Out burger. Nobody loves more than the brokenhearted.
Where the hell do y'all be finding these men that are obsessed with you?
So I wanted to ask the audience a question, and my question is: are the broken men? Because I don't date men. Understand that I'm publicly hetero-flexible, which implies no gayness at all. So I don't date men. So what I wanted to ask my audience, since I understand some of y'all do date men, I assume, are the broken-hearted men who are like in pieces after a breakup, and like, I guess, let's see what he was talking about one more time.
If you see a newly single girl wilding out in Miami on a girls' trip, just going crazy on her Instagram and Snapchat stories, look for her ex. He's alone in a cage somewhere, probably doing push-ups. You finally find that guy that moves heaven and earth for you and does everything that you've ever dreamed of. You have no one else to thank but that woman that ate his art and crapped it out like an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah, so are the broken men, are these the men who are best for relationships? And when you find that man who's like broken, he is just enriching, and you're in a fulfilling relationship with him? Because I feel like that's definitely a lie, and that you should not do that. That feels like That feels like legitimately bad advice that I would not recommend anybody take. But I don't date men. So okay, Cantor said absolutely not. So there you have it. We have debunked it. Not to absolutely not. No, he's damaged goods. I don't know about damaged goods, but I don't know about dating people who I think it's rude to call someone broken after they experience like trauma in a relationship. But I don't think bringing your old trauma to a new relationship is going to be like fulfilling and enriching and the best relationship you've ever had in the way he describes it. So I was watching this like this seems toxic. I know people overuse toxic, but it does seem toxic. There should be broken nothing in the relationship. Don't disagree. I honestly don't be dating, but yes, I agree. It does sound like bad advice. Well, let's see what the comments said. Maybe the comments will explain it to us. The These first two comments are from girls, but the first comment from a man says, "Not true. After so long, a broken heart mends into something so hardened and disfigured, it's barely recognizable." And someone replied to him and said, "It's called trauma." So even the men seem like they don't agree. But the first woman to comment on this said, "You say all of this, but then expect a woman to be a 10 in all aspect. Um, us women are the same. We only want a man to love us and appreciate us. Y'all men say we're complicated, but most just want to be appreciated, loved, and respected. Given that you actually want to be with someone for who they are on the inside and not on the outside." Interesting. Some of them try to jump into relationships to fix it, and you don't know till they start talking and all the insecurities come out. Yeah, like this literally sounds like a setup for a traumatic relationship. Um, but I don't disagree with her that there's kind of, look, if it was a woman on here and she was like, "Listen, men, if you want a good woman, go out and find the woman with 4 baby daddies. Go out and find the woman with daddy issues. Go out and find the woman who's been broken before, and she will enrich your life." Like, I feel like the men would definitely be like, "No, why would anyone date that woman? I deserve better." So at the very least, it does seem a little hypocritical based on the type of stuff that the men be talking about, because they definitely do not want to date no broken women out here, which I wouldn't recommend. So I don't know why they are recommending the opposite. So that's our little thought exercise, which I guess you didn't have to think too hard about. Surprise, being with people experiencing trauma and bringing their brokenness to you is not enriching and probably will be a very shitty time. So don't do that. All right, here we go. 2023, we're already giving good relationship advice. Let's see what the comments say. Then I'm going to play my intro and we can get straight into Black Girl Follow. Depends on how they respond to the breakup. Some appreciate and treat the next person right. Some can't trust anymore and the next person pays for it. I think it's going to be the latter, because he specifically said right after that breakup, when his heart is broken and he's feeling bad, go and snatch him up because he's going to be really good to you. And I feel like, I mean, I do think you can heal, and I do think when it comes to some appreciate and treat the next person right, I think that has to do more with if you did something wrong and that's what caused someone to break up with you. But then, like I just said, I feel like you need to heal before you even go into a next relationship. But I don't think we disagree with each other. Hello, the other MJ, and welcome. Hello, Tori Doll and London Link. I'm going to play my intro and we can get right into it, guys. Okay, so Black Girl Follow, again, if you guys are unfamiliar with the trend like I am, apparently, to put simply, it is a TikTok trend in which Black women, I guess, you will post a video and other Black girls will follow you. You'll go down to the comments to follow the Black girls, and y'all will kind of build community to follow each other. When it comes to why this is happening, I guess we know that TikTok does discriminate against Black people and generally likes to push more white media to the front, especially when it comes to white women versus Black women. So this is a way for Black women to kind of combat that and be able to follow each other and boost each other into the algorithm so that they have a fair chance. At least that's my understanding of it. So let's see what we're going to be talking about today. And the channel I have up on the screen is called, let me see, Flower Tower. And this is her video on this, which we're going to give credit to because she's a Black woman. So in the spirit of Black Girl Follow, if y'all Black girls want to go follow her, please feel free to. And let's see what she's talking about.
So there's this thing on TikTok called the BlackGirlFollow Trend, right? And basically, Black women on TikTok are all using this template and this sound and these hashtags so that we can like find each other and connect and follow and support each other. Because honestly, it's not even just a TikTok problem, it's a social media period problem. But you'll notice that Black creators have a harder time getting views, getting brand deals, getting everything, just getting support, period, right? So the BlackGirlFollow Trend was created to support each other, right? And of course, a certain demographic gotta be in the mix. Now, I'm about to show y'all 2 different videos made by 2 different white women. And when you first look at these videos, one of them is clearly like hateration and holleration up in the dancery, whereas one of them is, you know, it's intended to be more supportive, right? But they exhibit the same white woman issue. And let me show you exactly what I mean.
If you're a Black girl and you heart it, I'm following you back. Like, and they keep saying, if you're a Black girl, then I'll follow you back. If you're a Black girl, I'll follow you back. Why you got to be Black? Like, make it make sense. Like, why can't we be women in our women community empowering our Black women? Like, why does it have to be Black?
So first I'm going to respond.
Before she responds to that, I would like to at least try to give my unbiased response. And this is the flower. Somebody said it in the comments, but that is Flower Tower on YouTube, if you guys didn't catch that the first time. The first white woman, well, let's listen to what she said one more time.
I mean,
if you're a Black girl and you heart it, I'm following you back. Like, and they keep saying, if you're a Black girl, then I'll follow you back. If you're a Black girl, I'll follow you back. Why you got to be Black? Like, make it make sense. Like, why can't we be women in our women community empowering our Black women? Like, why does it have to be Black?
Now, this is what I didn't understand, because I don't think you're excluded from following the Black women if you are white. I think you're encouraged to. Maybe I misunderstood the movement. I just don't think people are going to be following you, because that would defeat the purpose of Black women being kind of pushed down by the algorithm and wanting to combat that. And then the second girl, who is, if you guys can't see the screen says, on my way to find out if I qualify to hop on the BlackGirlFollow train, since I wasn't actually meant to be born white. And I have no idea what that means at all. I do think you can hop on the BlackGirlFollow train as a white woman by sharing your favorite Black girl content creators and following them just like everybody else is doing in the comments. But I have no idea what that means. I don't know what that means generally when people say I wasn't meant to be born white or Black or a woman or whatever. I literally have no idea what that means. So let's see.
So first I'm going to respond to the first woman's complaints. She was upset about the Black Girl Follow Trend excluding her. And she said, why can't we just be women in our women community supporting our Black women, right? Well, my question is this. Why have you never posed that question to white women? Why have you never asked white women why they excluded Black women from pretty much everything, right? Why did you wait until Black women said, okay, since nobody will support us, we'll support ourselves? For you to say, well, why can't we all just be women, right? It's funny because this is not just a white woman thing. This is a white person thing, period, right? White people will sit by as they see Black people being abused and excluded, and they won't say a word. But the moment that Black people begin to support each other and say, you know what, forget it, we don't need y'all, then suddenly they say, well, you're excluding me. Why can't we just not see race, my dog, diggity? The entire reason that the Black Girl Follow Train was created is because you all exclude us for everything and take credit for everything that we do. Now, I'm going to keep it, to TikTok because that's where all of this is occurring. But I know y'all remember there was some white girl on TikTok. She did a video doing some dance that a Black girl or woman, I'm not sure how old these people were. She did this dance that a Black girl or woman created, and she got invited to do the dance on some late show like Jimmy. I don't know these people's names, right? My point is this white girl did not invent this dance. She stole this dance from a Black girl, but her video got more views, and she literally got invited to go to some huge show to do a dance she didn't even create. And the Black girl who created it got left in the fucking dust. And my question is, where was you when that was happening? Matter of fact, where was you?
I did not know she was going to be cursing. Y'all know we don't curse over here, so please remain non-cursy in the comments. This does not change our channel dynamic. But I think I generally agree with her in that, well, you see the title of my video, right? How white women all lives matter, the Black Girl Follow Trend. I compared it to All Lives Matter because All Lives Matter is like conveniently not present for any issues until Black Lives Matter come along, right? All Lives Matter is like they're not present for any police on Black shooting or any they're not even here for Black on Black crime, which they talk about a lot when it comes to police shooting Black people. That's like something that they bring up a whole lot. They are not there to protest for or advocate for change in those areas. They're not even there for white people a lot of the times, who also, some unarmed white people be getting killed by the police. But where All Lives Matter is present is wherever Black Lives Matter is present, which, I mean, at the very least is extremely convenient that they always happen to be in the same place at the same time. And to me, that's what I think Flower has been articulating. It's like, it's a little convenient how it's a reaction, right? As opposed to an action. And we can all understand how these things are different, right? Like, hopefully we can. Let her speak a little bit more before I continue.
When any of this was happening, because that was not some sort of anomaly. Shit like this happens all the time. Black women work so hard on TikTok for scraps, right? Then white women will go and steal Black women's ideas and shit and get all these big brand deals, get invited onto shows, et cetera, get monetized, all this stuff, right? Where were you when all of that was happening? You were nowhere to be found. But as soon as Black women said, you know what, we're going to build each other up, suddenly you found an issue with that shit. And like I said, this is not a white woman specific thing. This is something white people, period, do. They are so threatened by Black people sticking together. I'm not even joking. Now, this specifically is about women, but this is something all white people do with all Black people. They literally get uncomfortable when they see us showing each other love, because that's all this actually is. It's so funny watching a white woman complain about.
And yes, that is all that it was, right? Black women, you have to understand how confusing this is to me. It's like, I don't understand how you log onto TikTok and you see Black women supporting each other, and you have this knee-jerk reaction to become mad. Like, why aren't Black women uplifting us white girls, right? And to record a TikTok and for it to go out, do you know how many steps in the thinking process? It's not like you are having a conversation with your friend and you blurt out something. You have to watch these things, think about it, internalize it, start recording yourself, getting the right angle, doing a take or two. and then post it. You have to go through all of that, and throughout this you are able to maintain this I guess anger at Black women for literally just sticking together. Keep in mind, Black women didn't get online and say like, we hate white women and we're going to exclude them from this conversation. Like, no, it's not like something malicious towards white people. It's literally just Black women saying the system being TikTok in this case. And even though this is on TikTok, like she said, it's on all social media. It's on YouTube, Instagram, right? Any social media. Usually Black content creators, and specifically Black women content creators, videos aren't pushed out to the algorithm in the way that white people's are. And Black women, seeing this systemic issue, decided to, I guess, take the matter into their own hand, because I guess TikTok doesn't really care about it. I guess white women don't really care about it either. So if nobody else is left to care about it, then the people who it's affecting are going to care, right? So they create this Black Girl Follow trend, and they start trying to do something to combat this oppressive system that has like a foot on their neck. And for you to see this and immediately go into what about us white women seems like, again, I said it's really weird. Does it not seem weird to anyone else? Because I'm wondering how you got there. How are you responding to it as if you have been attacked? And my conclusion is something about, I guess, seeing Black women band together just feels threatening. It's like, because the white woman was on the defense off the bat. Like, she didn't come on and say, hey, I understand that TikTok is discriminating against Black women, but I don't think dividing white women and Black women is the answer, right? She didn't even come on with a nuanced take like that. With a nuanced take like that, I could at least understand where you're coming from. Maybe not agree, but I can at least understand. But it wasn't even that it doesn't even seem like she's conscious of the problem that Black Girl Follow is meant to address in the first place. So it comes off as literally, again, she saw Black women banding together, felt like that was an attack to her, and made the response video that she did, I guess, in what is now called being a Karen or white woman fashion, whatever you call it. But again, I just find that extremely weird.
You know, why can't we just be women, period? When white women created this division within womanhood, when you think of the suffragist movement, you know, the women's suffrage movement, getting the right to vote, right? You think, oh, women got the right to vote in 1920, but that's not true. White women got the right to vote in 1920. Black women didn't get the right to vote until 1964 or 65 when the Voting Rights Act passed and allowed Black people to vote. Now, I mean, I thought we were all women. I thought it was, you know, like, let's just all women stick together or whatever, right? But no, clearly we're not. White women made it clear they wanted white women to vote. They didn't give a damn about Black women, right? Because if we were all women, then wouldn't Black women be able to vote when women could vote? But no, then your ass will come here and act like y'all didn't literally fucking create this divide. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Be serious.
Now, I don't believe in blaming white people in the present for issues that white people in the past caused. So as far as women's suffrage and Black women getting the right to vote after white women did, that's not something that I'm going to apply to this random white woman who made the TikTok video. But I am going to apply the exact same logic here, that we have a system that is affecting Black women negatively currently on TikTok in a way that it's not affecting white women. But all women aren't like this. This issue seems invisible to all women, right? So again, Black women, who are the group being disparaged, create this movement where they can band together. And once Black women create this movement so that they can move themselves up in the status quo, suddenly now it becomes all women. I absolutely do agree with that part of what she was saying, even though I don't put like, I'm not about to judge somebody today for women's suffrage or something when they probably weren't alive. But that is how it feels. Like, how are you so comfortable with the system? I feel at the very least I should go back on your channel and I should see you talking about all women's issues, including Black women's issues on your channel, but it's not there. What that tells me is that, like the women who were able to vote, the white women who were able to vote before Black women, you are comfortable with individuality when it comes to maintaining the status quo while you are on top. But it feels like once the group on bottom starts to challenge that status quo, now suddenly the individuality is like threatening. And why are you ostracizing us white women? We all need to stick together. You are called, and then it becomes like weird and twisted. And it's like Black people are actually the racist ones. They're keeping us from being a part of the movement, which is super weird. But here it is happening in 2022. Excuse me, 2023 now. 2023. That's because the response wasn't meant to be helpful. It was meant to distract and detract. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a question. Like, if I saw a Black girl, like, understand, I didn't know what BlackGirlFollow is. Literally, I didn't know what it is until today. My understanding was that Black girls are following Black girls. That's all I knew about the movement. I didn't know why. I didn't know how or what platform. Now I know it's on TikTok, and now I know why. But my initial response wasn't like, well, what about Black men? Why are you excluding Black? We're all Black. We need to stick together. That's the problem. You are dividing us in, right? That would be really weird for me to do, especially if I haven't in the past done anything like that when it comes to challenging the system that is oppressing you, right? You can't apply current issues to current white people creating those issues. I don't think you can. Now I understand. I was like, I wouldn't blame them for the past either, but it does show a pattern of behaviors. I try not to apply a pattern of behavior from a population to an individual. And I'm speaking to her as an individual. I'm not speaking to her as the white woman population, because there were some white women who came in today to defend Black women, which I was absolutely here for, because in my mind, that's probably, if you were genuinely like wanted to be all women inclusive, that's probably the way you would have came in and did it anyway. Hey B WMMB, welcome. We're missing some likes. I can't see how many likes there are on the video from my screen, but I know it's too little. Get the likes up, please, as we continue listening to Flower.
It's right now. Now, I want to take a moment to get into the second video where the white woman says, oh, me trying to see like if I qualify for the BlackGirlFollow Trend because I wasn't meant to be born white. What does that mean? Like, what does that even mean? Like, that doesn't even sound good. You know, that's weird. That sounds like when gay white men will be like, I have a Black woman inside of me. And yes, that's the thing they actually say, right? You know how they imitate like the ghetto Black woman's mannerisms. They become a caricature of Black women. So like, that's what it sounds like. What are you talking about? Are you eligible for the BlackGirlFollow Trend because you weren't meant to be born white? Like, I don't get what that even means. I used like, what? I don't even get this. Like, what? But like I said, you see, she's clearly trying to be like supportive or friendly as opposed to the first white woman. But honestly, it boils down to the same issue. White women having to be included in every goddamn thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I saw like, say for example, Asian women or something like, oh, you know, let's make an Asian woman follow train. Say they came up with the idea. I would not be, you know, mad at that. I would not be like, oh my God, like, why don't y'all include all women? I would not be like, oh, am I eligible? Like, no, what do that got to do with me? That don't have nothing to do with me. That's between them and them. Like, what? But that's because as a Black woman, I don't feel like I have to be included in every goddamn thing. And I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's because of the fact that y'all exclude us from everything. So we're just used to not being included in shit anyway. But my point is this.
Before she gets to her point, that's actually really interesting, because now that I think about it, I don't know if like Asian women, Latin women, Indian women, I don't know if they have movements, but I can't say that because I don't know if they have movements. I was going to say, I don't know that they would be getting like the same type of pushback from white women that Black women are if they do have those movements, which I'm sure they exist. I'm just not sure to what degree. And then, like she said, yeah, I've never seen like remember when what was it? Corona. Oops, the big no word. Don't say that. But remember when this disease hit us all and we were in this pandemic and there was like an extreme amount of Asian hate. I think it would be weird for me to respond like, which I think some people did. What about us black people? How come you Asian folks don't protect? Like, I feel like it would be weird for me to intrude on their movement and like demand that they include me in it, because to my knowledge, during the Big C pandemic, Black people were not facing like extreme rates of violence and discrimination in the way that Asian people were. So there wouldn't really be a need for us to have a movement related to that when we are not the demographic who's being discriminated against, if that makes sense. So I mean, I do agree with her. I don't think Black people would like come and try and co-opt a movement in the way that white women do when it comes to Black women.
White women have to understand. No, it's not even just white women. Again, let me speak in general on white people. White people need to understand that not every fucking thing is for them. Okay, now y'all have this long history of colonization, stealing every fucking thing. You know, like you see some shit, you like, oh, that's mine now. So now you can't stand to see something that's not for you. Let me be fair too. I'm not even going to just get on white people, because I will say that this is an issue that non-Black people, period, have as it pertains to Black people specifically. Now, I will say that white people feel the need to be involved in everybody's shit, okay? But all non-Black people feel the need to be involved in Black people shit. I'm not going to hold you, right? Like under one of these BlackGirlFollow trains, there was, I think she was indigenous or something. I'm not sure, right? But she left the comment like, oh, I followed you, like follow me back. Like, you know, like BIPOC women need to stick together. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, BIPOC means Black, Indigenous, people of color. So it means Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color. I don't get why this term was created. I don't, because like what, you know, you could just say non-white people or people of color or whatever. But I don't like the term because I don't like to be lumped in with y'all, because all of y'all are racist against Black people. Honestly, not a huge fan of it. But my point is this, this is not the BIPOC woman follow train. This is the Black woman follow train. This don't have nothing to do with you. Why are you here? But that goes back to my point that non-Black people really need to be in Black people mix. Like y'all stay in our fucking business, honestly. And it's just irritating. It's like Black people can't have shit without y'all being like all in the Kool-Aid, literally all in the Kool-Aid.
She is going in. She is going in. I'm not familiar with how other communities treat Black people. I do understand, at least in my own personal experience, Latin parents don't really like Mexican, Spanish, don't really like when their daughters date Black men, and they definitely do be saying some racist stuff that they think they say under their breath. But outside of that, I don't really know much about racism in other communities. I do know that darker skinned individuals are tended to be lower on the cast, but outside of that, I'm not too familiar. So we just gonna let Flower Tower speak.
Kool-Aid, dipping in the Kool-Aid, don't know the flavor. Like, why are you even like, huh? Like you, like what even made you think like, oh yeah, this is my space? This is a Black woman follow train. Like whomst are you? I don't get it. I don't get it, right? But again, like I said, y'all are so threatened by seeing Black people stick together. A lot of your livelihoods depend on us, you know, being beefed out with each other, fighting with each other, fussing and shit. That's just a reality. I'm not even just talking about women. I'm not even just talking about no follow train on TikTok. I'm talking about real life. Take a moment to think really quickly. What would happen if African Americans all came together and said, you know what, let's set our differences aside and let's stick together and let's stop supporting all these Chinese food restaurants, all these Vietnamese or Korean, I don't know who owns the nail salons, all these like Middle Eastern owned gas stations, all of this stuff. And we go out of our way to support the few African American restaurants and, you know, gas stations there are in our communities. Yo, them people wouldn't be able to survive. They survive off of us. They get rich off of us. They need us. They need us. What would happen if Africans chose to stick together and say, you know what, Europe, China, y'all can't mine our resources no more. Y'all, those places need Africa. They need its resources. So what happens when we stick together? That's why these people are so threatened when they see shit like this.
All right. So we're doing this because people.
Not a Kedology video to follow up. I did not like that transition. But yeah, I think she was saying a lot there. Let's pull her back up. I think she was saying a lot there. I don't disagree with a lot that she said outside of course, holding. I try not to hold people in the present accountable for I try not to hold them accountable for the actions of their ancestor. So outside of that, though, I don't necessarily disagree with anything she was saying. I'm going to, if anybody would like to comment on that, I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds to get your thoughts together. The link is in the comments to come up. Hello, Themis, welcome. She Told No Lie, LC. That's a new name. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Somebody else was here too. Hello, Tweetbird. Welcome. No lies detected. Cut the check. No. Themis comments. Okay. So the next content creator we are going to be looking at is going to be Cindy's Via. Her video is about 13 minutes, but her video is literally just a compilation of, first it's the initial TikTok that we looked at, as well as some compilation of white people who are expressing their views on the Black Girl Follow trend and everything that happened. So, all right, I read the comments, but I will not put it up, but just know that it is petty. White women won't be mad at an Asian follow trend because it won't make too much difference for them. But getting Black women to follow you is currency. That's why Black Girl Follow is a trend to them. I don't know. Flower said they like to dip their feet into everything. And I don't disagree with her. But I did like what she say about the idea of Black people uniting together to purchase mango juice from each other instead of from, you know, the white and Asian markets. Then what would be different in the community? A lot, I think. And then someone else said earlier, but I can't find the comment, that they wish the movement was silent, that Black women would have done this movement, but would have done it in silence. Oh, here it is. So the other MJ said, I love the idea. I just wish they didn't share the idea publicly. Sometimes you have to move in silence. And I don't know how I feel about that. I like that it's public because I think it's good it's public and that other Black girls can see that it's trending, and like, in my mind, it's easier to snowball like that when it's public and y'all can all hop onto it, as opposed to a silent movement. But really, I'm saying that because I don't believe I don't know if there can be a silent movement. I don't know if there can be. I don't know how to spread it. So that's why I say that. But let's see what she has to say. Again, this is Cindy's Via. So if y'all want a Black Girl Follow, y'all can Black Girl Follow.
Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's your girl Cindy again, and welcome back to another episode of TikTok Cheese. Guys, thank you so much for always clicking to watch my videos, liking, commenting, subscribing. You all are so sweet. Thank you.
So guys, we are still on this topic about the trend that is going on TikTok, the Black Girl Follow Challenge. I just did the part 1. So if you haven't seen it, please check out my last video so you can understand this part 2. So white people are literally, calling out the 2 white women for making those videos. Now this one in particular, her page is full of response comments, videos. Basically she was literally responding to comments, but she finally turned her comment section off and turned off the duet, so people cannot duet her videos, people cannot comment. But she even currently making videos about this trend. I'm gonna let the 2 clip roll so you guys can hear what she's saying. Please check the videos out.
And here's a separate one for your turn. Why do you feel the need to have to keep yourself so separate from every other color? Why do you feel the need to have to exalt yourself over every other race? Why do you feel the need to have to stand out as if you're the most special person in the world and that no one else can compare to your Black sisters? What is it in you that is lacking? Why do you not feel worth it enough just being you? What's making you feel insecure? What's making you feel so angry that you have to annihilate everyone other than your Black sisters? You want to answer those for me? Oh, how about this one too? How are we going to make this world a better place if we're all against each other? I want to have an all-white girls party.
Well, let's just let it play first.
And all you Black girls, you can't get upset about it either because you left us out of your group. How would my action be any different than yours? The one that you claim you were all upset about to the point where you went and threw your own sure way because it was just so wrong. So it was so wrong that you decided to do it yourself? Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell is this world coming to, man? Do better, not bitter.
Before I go ahead, I just want to say that this video is not for bullying, not for harassment. It is just to spread awareness so you guys can see and know what is going on TikTok, on social media. Now, ma'am, at this point, I think you need help because this is just a trend for Black women, strictly for Black women. How else do you want us to say it so you can understand it? You just need to get over it. It's not about race. All you can do is to support Black women. You claim in some of your videos that you love all women. You love all colors.
So she definitely do not love all colors and love all women in the way that she apparently said on her channel, or she would not be making this video. Everything is already about y'all. Pressed. Why won't someone in this world think of the white women? Black women don't understand how hard white women have it in this world. Anyway, it's again the same thing with the first white woman who we looked at. If you're truly like an ally to all women and you want all women to band together, then I feel that you would at least make an effort to understand why the movement is happening in the first place before you even have an opinion this hot of a take. Before you even get there, why not maybe ask a Black woman why they are making a movement like this? Because it's giving her, I know she just said, you Black women, basically you're insecure. Why are you so insecure? Why are you so bitter? Which is like really weird for her to be saying, because anyway, why don't you like look up why, like I did? Because remember, this is my first day knowing what the BlackGirlFollow Trend is. Literally this morning at work, I found one video before finding this video. Before, I think it's private and stuff like that, but and now here we are, and somehow in this one day that I've known the movement's existence, I was able to find out why it exists, which again is because Black content creators, specifically Black women content creators, videos are not being pushed out by the algorithm in the way that white women's videos are able to be. And in fact, a lot of times they're being like shadow banned, they're being hidden from the algorithm to the point where even if you're a Black girl and you want to see other Black girls' videos, without like going to seek those out, you will not find them. That is how hidden they are. Like, are you guys familiar with Lip Gloss? If you remember her, she has a TikTok, I think she don't have one anymore, YouTube channel. And Lip Gloss used to make some content that I really, really enjoyed. Like, I really like Lip Gloss content. I think she's funny. She does like some humorous commentary on stuff in a humor style that I like. Y'all know I like humorous takes. And I never would have discovered Lip Gloss without another Black woman literally telling me that she exists and me having to go out and seek her, even though content like hers is something that I enjoy a lot. And it's a lot of Black women's content that I enjoy a lot, but it's literally pushed to the back by the algorithm and you will not come across it. You just will not, unless you go out and seek it out. So Black women, knowing that the algorithm is pushing them back in this way, have decided to come together to follow each other and to give each other views, give each other follows, so they can get that boost and snowball into the algorithm, right? Have you ever seen like an amazing video that is buried, like literally buried underneath the algorithm? A video that looks like it has the quality of a channel that you would think would have 1 million views and it has like 4 views on it. My videos. No, I'm just playing. And oftentimes these videos are pushed to the back in favor of some low quality white people videos. And this movement, and as it's been articulated to me, was made to combat that. Now, having known that, I feel that any type of hostility I would have had towards Black Girl Follows, which would be weird to have in the first place, would have been disarmed, because now I know that this is a reaction. This isn't like Black girls trying to exclude white women from talking about anything, or trying to say that, like, listen to what she said. Why do you Black girls think you're better than everybody, huh? You're just as bad as white. Like, it's so weird the way that she's framing it, because nobody is talking about Black women are better. Nobody's talking about white women. You can't, excuse me, white women, we hate you and we're excluding you. You can't. Like, nobody's talking about that. It's simply Black girls saying, hey, I see other Black girls going through issues that are specific to Black girls, so I'm going to help this issue in a way that's specific to Black girls. That seems very straightforward to me, right? I will use the crutch analogy, as I have used several thousand times in my life. Imagine, if you will, you're running a race and the opponent breaks your legs. That's unfair. The opponent's grandfather breaks your legs. It's genetic, so it's passed down through your children. I don't know. But your legs are broken as white people get to run this race able-bodied. And at some point you get some aid in the form of crutches. And now, even though you're not on par with an able-bodied person, at the very least, you have crutches so that you're able to participate in the race. And these able-bodied people see you with crutches and they're like jealous. And they're like, what about our crutches? Why are you guys able to get crutches and we can't get crutches? And it's like, I feel like you're ignoring the fact that, number one, you don't need crutches, and you're ignoring why they have crutches in the first place. Their legs are broken. That's how I feel about this movement. TikTok has crippled Black women. Okay, yeah, we get the analogy. And I almost put it on screen. Let's see what's going on in the comments, because y'all are being messy. Pressed. Why won't somebody think of the majority? Now I'm a crisis because everything is about them. Now in a crisis. I think now they're in a crisis because everything isn't about them. Hello, oh boy, welcome. Oh, now it's a crisis. White people look at racial empowerment as threats because racial empowerment for them is violent, whereas racial empowerment for Black women is self-esteem and respect. That's what I see. It's like empowerment, but it's seen as like a threat. It's as if you would have thought Black women like lashed out at her or something. I saw the one with an old white lady bawling her eyes out. Yeah, like crying. Like what? I don't understand. How do you see Black women just having a good time, chilling, sussing out the vibe, and you're like crying? That is weird. They know what they're doing. It's giving fake outrage. I don't think it's fake. I really don't. There's a man in the back saying it's not going to end well for you. I haven't seen that one yet, but I did hear about it. Ain't nobody coming to see you. I've been shadow banned for no reason. Yeah, I've heard people literally shadow banned for no reason. And generally it happens to be people of a certain color and gender. Do they want affirmative action or reparations or something equivalent? That's what it's giving. That is what it's giving. We live in the Shadowlands. Okay. Poor little Tink Tink. Absolutely. Poor little Tink Tink. Won't someone please feel the sympathy?
Then support Black women on this trend. Like their videos, share their videos, comment on their videos. That's all. Even your fellow white people are against the videos you are making about this trend. Just get over it, man. Get over it. So guys, I have put together some stitches. I mean, some white people, women, talking about, check.
So she put together some compilation basically of white people's response.
Don't you? I can't with some of these motherfuckers.
Oh.
Don't judge. I went to bed with it wet, okay? Look, for the last like 2-3 days, I've been sitting back. The very limited time I've been picking up my phone to take a break between sanding and scrubbing walls, prepping for painting. The Black Girl Follow.
Let me not point out what I was going to point out.
Train. It has been adorable. They've been original. They've been funny. And I keep hearting them and I forward them. Forward. U.S. Postal Service much. Repost them. And now today, every other post is a black girl having to call out an envelopian. And there's been more than one envelopian.
Oh, what? Let me just start out by saying, and I hope she doesn't turn evil on me before she finishes. I like this take. I like the idea that a white woman gets on TikTok, sees black women uplifting each other, and she's like, that's cute. And that's it. That's literally it. Because this to me seems like what the response should be. If anything, envelopian, that's what it was. You better leave Margaret alone. Envelopian, yes, I am using it. I am absolutely using it. And envelopian, let me go to the Urban Dictionary and edit this in.
Crying about the black girl follow train. If y'all don't sit the fuck down, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Can they have nothing? I'm so embarrassed.
And no one else can compare to you.
She's embarrassed. White people are embarrassed by this. Other white women are embarrassed by this woman. Now I know that I'm not crazy.
Or black sisters.
I'm not mean unless I have to be, so please listen. Most black Americans' ancestors were taken from Africa and brought to the United States. These Africans were stripped of their religions, their cultures, and their entire lives that they knew before they were brought to the United States. They were forced into race-based intergenerational chattel slavery for about 250 years. For over another 100 years, there were the Jim Crow laws. These Jim Crow laws basically made it illegal to be black. There just wasn't race-based intergenerational chattel slavery anymore. Black Americans created their own culture. It has been roughly 50 years since the end of the Jim Crow era. Do you really expect all black Americans to have assimilated into whiteness? Over 70% of the United States classifies themselves as white. And
I'm not pausing because I disagree with his take. I just wanted to ask because I know on Flower's video, she said that a problem, even when it comes to white people who are trying to be allies, is that they feel the need to be included in a conversation that's about black people. But I wanted to repose this idea now that you have white people who see a white person disparaging against black women and has come to pretty much what is it called when you excommunicate someone from your community? They came to drag. That's not the word I'm looking for, but they came to say we don't claim her in so many words. Which I don't think I disagree with.
large portion of those white Americans still look down upon black Americans. So do you really fault black women for trying to empower each other? I've noticed that you've posted a lot of different videos and I suggest you take them down. I suggest you get off of TikTok for a little while and think about your actions because this ain't it. And everyone watching, if y'all could, go ahead and tag her. Learn up.
And he said, tag her. He said, tag her, go stitch her video, go, ooh. He said, you need to be present for this drag. Exile her from the community, banish. It's not even, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's like they're coming to hold her accountable. So, I mean, I don't have issues with white people commenting on black issues, especially if they're coming in with what I think is a good take like this. Like, why are you, excuse me, Miss White Woman, as a fellow white woman, who hurt you? Why are you so mad? Why can't these people just banishment? He said, get off the app. He said, go and seek therapy. Seek therapy. And maybe take some time off of social media because this is not a good look. It's not cute. And you're making all of us look bad. We don't claim you. In the same way that white people do not claim school shooters, they do not claim this white woman. I promise you, if you make the community look bad, they are going to banish you, chastise, excommunicate, whatever. Get her together. He got her together and ready to go. As if he was getting his child ready for daycare, then packed the bag and everything. He then got her together. If she wasn't together before, she is now. She said she wanted to be together, and now look at her together. He got her there. gather your coworkers. Let's see what's going on here.
You know, I was going to go to bed, but then I saw your video, and you're mad that black women are coming together on this app, and you're not a part of it. You know why you're not a part of it? Because you're white. See, white women want to take everything that black women have. They want to insert themselves. They want to be a part of it. White women have done nothing but stab black women in the fucking back. This is no place for you, especially women like you, because you feel entitled and you feel some type of way that you're not the center of attention, you know, like white women and white people have done since the beginning of time. Shut the fuck up and stay in your motherfucking lane, because white women like me are going to come for your ass all fucking day long. Shut the fuck up.
Look, white people have some colorful language. I'll tell y'all that. I was not expecting all the F-bombs today, but it's fine. We're not monetized. I like that she snuck in entitlement there, because that's what it was giving and that's what it gave. Why do you feel entitled to something that black women are doing for each other? That's a good question. I'm glad she asked it.
Okay, so you may or may not be aware, but something happening on here in TikTok is that the black ladies started something called, follow for follow, wherein black women are empowering each other and following each other, creating a community on here. And of course, here come the Karens. Why can't we be involved, etc. And it really underscored to me that meme where no black person will ever be lonely, because there's always some white person getting all up in their business. And it's, in this day and age, unfucking believable.
I wasn't going to do any talking videos today because I am sick as a dog, but I've come on here.
Somebody said, Tori said, what is an envelopian? Please explain to her in the comments so that I don't have to on screen. Heavy on the entitlement. She said STFU. Yes, she did. And that's on comma. Yeah, she's giving Abraham Lincoln. She's giving what the hell is wrong with these white people. That's what it's giving. And I'm here for it. I'm actually here for it. The priority mail envelopians are tired of y'all USPS ground parcel BS. Yes, they are tired. And yes, please do hand Tori your phone at the earliest convenience.
Here, and for the last couple hours, I have watched time and time again where Stephanie and my other black friends that I follow are having to defend their right to have a trend of a shared experience, to come together to love and support one another. And y'all can't fucking stand it. All I see is all these women going, that's not inclusive. What about us? Do you share the black woman's history? Do you share that experience? You do not. So if there's a trend of French horn players that says, you know what, nobody else knows what it's like to tote this motherfucker, let's start a trend where we support one another. Are you going to intrude in that? I don't think so. What about brain surgery patients that come together and they support one another, and they talk about their shared experiences, and they compare, and they get the support that they don't get from anybody else because they don't understand it? Are you going to come in and say, well, I got my eyebrows plucked once. It's kind of close, right? If you support black women, then you will support this trend. And when I say you will support this trend, I don't mean you jump off into the middle of it. What I mean is that you boost those videos, you like those videos, you comment in those videos. You comment in those videos with a mention of another black creator that maybe is not on their friends list. That's how you support this. And then you sit back and you watch the people that you say you care about getting the love and support that they need from one another, and you take joy in that.
It's giving based, it's giving BDE, it's giving what needs to be gave, all that good stuff. Yeah, my favorite, she said brain surgery, but the way I've heard it before was again about All Lives Matter, how weird it would be for like your mother or grandmother or sister or someone to be suffering from breast cancer and you start wearing breast cancer awareness ribbons because it's like persistent in your family, and then here comes some asshole to be like, all cancer matters. What about brain cancer? And it's weird because we don't have a problem with brain cancer being persistent currently in the way that breast cancer is. Even though it is a serious issue, it kind of feels weird for you to like barge into the doctor's office as we're, you know, getting screened for breast cancer to say, no, what about all cancer patients? Seems like kind of an odd thing to do, right? So that's how I've heard it articulated to me, why it's weird. Especially when those same people don't even show up to other, like, they don't show up to protest or to advocate for other types of cancer. They literally just burst into the breast cancer awareness parade to say all cancer matters. That's it. So it's giving, they don't really care about what they're talking about. They just don't like that you're celebrating or trying to advocate for or do something about breast cancer. With that being said, we are at the 1 hour mark, and I said we wouldn't be over 30 minutes. And literally the rest of the videos is just it is just white people dragging, I promise y'all. And then at the end there's a funny clip. So I don't know, should we play the last 3 minutes? I feel like we've already said everything that needs to be said for today. I did pin the link if anybody wanted to come up and give any thoughts before I end the stream. But if not, I think I'm going to go ahead and go into my after show. What am I holding and jiggling? Excuse me. I don't know what y'all mind's eye is painting, but I promise it is not over here. I'm going to go into my after show and tell you guys what's coming up on the channel, and that will be that.
You really want to catch fucking 350 pounds of dude on your ass?
Of course.
Sounds like a good time.
That's a good time to me. He hop on my meaty, he start riding me. I said, Daddy, don't stop it. Look how he drop it. Just like a pilot, I'm all in his cockpit. I lick the cock tip, I let the cock drip.
Okay, so here's what we're doing on the channel, guys. I am going to release a video. I definitely will actually release a video this time instead of just saying I'm going to do it and then not doing it for 4 months. But I am going to release a video, and the video is titled, wait, what's going on in the comments? Anyway, the video is titled Rejection in the Modern Dating Scene, Why Men Insult Women Who Turn Them Down. And we're going to be exploring the male ego as it pertains to approaching and hitting on women in public, and why rejection can sometimes turn into insults and sometimes turn into violence at the extreme end. So if any of you are interested in giving any of your experiences or stories with something like, here's the example that was given to me. This is literally going to be in the intro of that video. My friend told me a story that I've heard quite a few times. This was one woman friend I have, but her story is something that I've heard from several of, if not most of, my women friends. And I have somebody in the back, and I'll add them right after I read this excerpt. But she said that she was at the gas station pumping her gas, like all of us do from time to time when our car runs low. And she was approached by a man, and he gave her several compliments on her looks before he asked for her number. And she replied to him by saying, "Thank you, but I'm not interested." And he responded by like cursing her out. He was calling her a B word and a garden tool. And he was telling her she's ugly anyway. He wasn't even interested in her like that. And that had me thinking, why do men do this? So that's what inspired the video. And now I've been doing research all week on approaching women in public and the mindset that men have behind that, and why it can get so insulty. And that was in my mind, that was a relatively tame story compared to some of what my women friends have told me about having men hit on them in public. The other stories being a lot more aggressive and a lot more violent, to the point where they were telling me, like, I just give them a fake number. I just give them my number and then don't talk to them. I just blah, 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 because I would rather reject him not face to face so that I don't have to worry about being like beaten or killed. So if anybody would like to send me anything in regards to that video, you can remain anonymous. You can either send it to my Instagram, which is prince.petti, or you can send it to my email, which is princepetti@gmail.com, which is on the screen. Your experience can remain confidential. I just like a few examples for my video, or you can send them through the Discord if you're in there. With that being said, T, hello.
Hello.
You wanted to comment on the I guess the black girl follow thing, or you wanted to you came up for the male rejection thing?
Black girl follow.
Okay, so what's going on there? How do you feel about the black girl follow movement?
It's good.
Okay. Do you feel like the white woman was in the beginning? Do you think anything she said was true regarding why are these black girls excluding us white women, and they're just insecure? And what did she say? Started with a D. Oh no, bitter. She said they're bitter. Started with a B. They're bitter and insecure, and that's why they're doing it. Do you agree with any of that?
She also said, so my production inquiry is at
I'm not gonna lie, you had me. You actually had me.
Wait,
I just looked at the comments.
I thought if I spoke slowly, people would know who I was.
I didn't know. I actually didn't know.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what is your anyway?
Sorry. Yeah, no. I think there is the question about like audacity, right? Like everyone is like, I think for people who've been the standard, and I say that sort of being cavalier in my language, the standard for acceptance, the standard for everything, because the American system was created with white people in mind, right? And black people were not just an afterthought, but a thought secondary in its building of America. Like black people were thought of, but not as people. And so I think for a lot of people today, not to give them blame them for what happened in the past, but I think a lot of people today do not know how to reconcile the realities of the black experience being more than secondary to white people. So in the context of social media, and it's something that I've been like thinking about on YouTube, where black women are contemplating how to engage in a system that does not prioritize their voices and their content. How do you negotiate your positioning and elevate yourself and your content in an area, social media, that is about social acceptance? Like ultimately it boils down to who wants to see what I have to do, and on the back end, what the algorithm will push forward, right? Now, if you can't play into the algorithm because you're black, or people don't want to see you again because you're black, then you are confined to your blackness, and you have to then negotiate with other Black people about how to create content for their consumption. And so it makes sense that Black women, particularly on TikTok, would then come together. We all know about the dancing that is then co-opted and then commercialized, and white women get success from Black people's creativity. But in the world where Black people are saying, and Black women here are saying, okay, maybe we should come together and like be intentional about content creation, about creating a coalition for our advancement. It will feel for white people who have been sort of parasitic in their relationship to Black artistry, like across the board, not just on social media, across the board. It will feel like this kind of ownership of self and this kind of collaboration is somehow wrong. But what they fail to recognize is the reason you feel it's wrong is because you cannot enact the kind of, I don't want to say violence, but the kind of co-opting that is generally accepted in these spaces. And I think it's nuance, and it's nuance from their end, in their mind. But from a Black lens, through a Black lens, it's very obvious that you do not like what you see because you don't like the advancement. It's very clear that you want to be included. It's very clear that you've been prioritized, and you not being prioritized is causing you some kind of discomfort. And instead of sitting with your discomfort and rationalizing your discomfort and figuring it out, you decided in your ego, in your entitlement, to come and spew what I believe to be hatred. And I do think you should get backlash. Like, I don't advocate bullying, I don't advocate harming, and I don't advocate like shutting people's voices down. Like, I like my racists loud, so I know who they are. But I do fundamentally believe that the way in which this person decided to engage highlights something that I think is fundamentally broken, not just with the system of TikTok or YouTube, but like an American system. It's the entitlement that is embedded in the system where white people, white women in this case, feels entitled to Blackness and Black creation and Black spaces, and even feel like Black spaces shouldn't exist because we are post-racial and post-racist. And I don't think that's true. Like, I know that's not true, right? We're not post-racial, we're not post-racist, so we can advocate colorblind legal structures, but we can't do that socially because Black people aren't accepted generally in the wide social space, so we have to create our own. I think it's unfortunate that instead of like learning and understanding the discomfort, she decided to let it show. But I'm also happy she did because, again, I like my racist because I like to be able to tell. And yes, I call it racism because I'm not about to play these games where I'm trying to figure out if that discomfort came from a good or bad place. No, you should have been able to sit with it. That you can't is a kind of entitlement that is white supremacist, and I find it to be along the lines of racism, if not racist.
I do not disagree with you on that. I would like to ask regarding two things. I'm not going to comment on literally the last part you said because I have words that are very directed towards a specific person. But on what you said about in her mind, it was a nuanced take, even though to Black people, it's very upfront and obvious what's going on. I'm still failing to understand how I don't see how it could be seen as nuanced, even in her mind. Like what she was saying, Black women think, why do you think you're better than us? Why are you doing exactly what white people do? Like it feels like she's legitimately just making something up, whereas it was just Black girls following each other. In her mind, she sees like a threat towards her, or like Black people lashing out towards her almost. So I don't see what she's seeing, and I can't, even in my mind's eye, I can't understand how she could see it as nuanced.
In the white imagination, and I say this broadly, there is this idea that we're post-racial and post-racist. In the contemporary world, I think a lot of people want to believe that we can all come together and kumbaya, right? And people who believe that tend to be privileged in ways that they don't have to think about their race. So this would only apply to white people or people who are black or other race who have means of sorts, right? And so if you create the bubble big enough and powerful enough, then you can believe that you're in a system that everyone can come together. So if there is an overt expression of colored space, people tend to get uncomfortable because the question becomes, why do black people, why do Asian people, why whatever race it is, why do they get to create their own when I can't do that as a white person? So in a post-racist, post-racial America, this shouldn't be needed. She would be correct in my mind if we were in a post-racial society. We are not. That we left from sort of de jure segregation to like de facto doesn't mean the structures in place, in this case on TikTok, the algorithm does not prioritize whiteness, right? That mediocre white people are elevated to superstardom on TikTok based on black creativity highlights, to me at least, that there is elements of racism and definitely racial favoritism in the way stars on TikTok are promoted. And they tend to be white, and they tend to be skinny, and they tend to be this very specific young white girl, right? And so, yeah, I think the nuanced take would be that we are post-racial, and creating anything predicating that on a racial group is racist, or at least counter to the culture we are trying to create. But that's not real. We're not post-racial. We're not post-racist. So your take doesn't make sense. Not yours, but hers.
Okay, I think you answered my question. Her mindset to me lacks critical thinking. If I think about it how you just said it, it's easy to simply say the statement, wait, why can't us white people do it? How would you feel if us white people do it? And then the line of thinking just stopped there, as opposed to exploring the nuance to it in a way that you just did. And then it is upsetting the way in which I have been instructed recently to look at someone who may call me the N-word to my face, or who may call me other racial slur, or tell me to go back to Africa, and for me to be expected to not call this racist, but to critically think about what struggle they may have gone through personally, and they may just be lashing out and understand their mindset. But when it comes to something that I've said many times today, Black women banding together to fight kind of this systemic algorithm that's oppressing their videos, when she made the response to it, it's like there's none of that what is it called, patience. There's none of that patience. There's none of that critical thinking or nuance or understanding, and that has me a little bit upset, which I think is why I ended up making this live stream, because that's something that I was trying to do.
Is your broader question, why do we have to have nuance when they don't?
I don't think so. I think it's well, yeah, in so many words, because why am I scrutinized not for not having nuance? Because I believe you should have nuance, and you can do that while still calling something racist. But why am I like heavily scrutinized for this in a way that I don't see them being scrutinized by the same audience?
Oh, wait. All right. So 2 parts. I don't think we should be. This is going to be annoying. I don't think we should be nuanced. I think publicly. I think we should be nuanced privately.
Yeah, I agree.
I also don't think trying to figure out if someone's saying something racist, if they are racist. I'm assuming you're talking about kidology in your exchange. I functionally you're racist, so I don't really care about who you are internally. Functionally, you are recreating racism. Like it doesn't matter, to me at least. But you're right. Like this woman isn't critiquing the broader TikTok algorithm for its lack of promotion of Black voices and content. So it's strange that you would then create the reaction, as you've called it, to that TikTok algorithm, right? Like it's if when you went on her page, if you didn't see her talking about Blackness and trying to uplift Blackness, then it seems really strange that you're critiquing the reaction as opposed to the reality.
Yeah, I agree with you there. With that being said, if you have final thoughts, you can give them. Or also the thing that I brought up in the after show, if you would like to comment on that, you can as well before.
I don't remember what you brought up in the after show.
So let's see. Rejection in the modern dating scene. Why do men insult women who turn them down? This will be the topic of a video that I'll release either this week or next week, schedule depending. And I will actually release it this time and not just say I'll do it.
I think that men are emotional. It's funny because I'm laughing because everything I was about to spew would be everything like the Fresh and Fit say about women. But I think that I don't think society is willing to say anger is an emotion, so and a very destructive one at that. But I don't know the answer. What I do know is maladaption, lack of emotional regulation, and a community developing online that is telling men that they are victims instead of pointing out what happens in society. I just finished one of Kidology's videos, and she did make a really good point. I do think that we ignore and we separate people too quickly, and we're too easily dismissive of people who don't agree with everything that we agree with, and that's the critique of the left, and I find it very poignant. But I'm along the lines of you, and I think men need better regulation. And hopefully a man comes along to teach masculinity, because apparently men need to learn about masculinity and it's not innate. So hopefully we get that savior some point soon.
Period. I think I will end there. With that being said, thank you everyone for joining. Nobody else has hit the link, so this will be the end of my live stream. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're not. And I'm going to put my email on screen one last time if anybody wants to send their experience related to the topic that we just covered. Good night, everybody.
Adios.